I'm all for bringing shame back, but I also look at what you're saying. Yes, it's happening. I can't disagree with that, but I look at it as a symptom because think about, let's say, in the boomers' heyday when they were in their 30s and 40s, think about, even though it was segregated to an extent back then, it was like the 80s, shit was still kind of rough with interest rates. They were still able to like live a decent life. Maybe one person worked, the other person took care of the 5 kids they had or whatever, whatever. And just having each person had one job, you could live an average life. And I think that now that that's quickly escaping everybody, but probably more quickly escaping us, I think that perhaps that's why people are more accepting of being like, oh, well, they get in the bag.
Right.
She looked like a damn fool, but she get in the bag, And I think that you're gonna always have those types of people. Case in point, OJ. OJ was a nigga, but OJ wanted to separate himself. You know what I mean? And he probably was like, well, I just want to be an athlete and I just want to get my bag. So he thought it was okay to separate himself from the community who essentially supported him to get him to where he was,
Right.
So I think it's happened a lot. But I also think that because shame is lacking, there are more outrageous things happening that we're essentially being okay with, or some people are being okay with, or just being like, ugh, whatever, like let them do what they want to do, just being sort of dismissive.
Right.
Yeah, I'm all for kicking people out of our group. Like, listen, if you want to demonstrate that way, you can't. We back in the day, we say we pull your black card. I would love to pull a lot of these celebrities' black cards. You should not be allowed to be associated with our ethnic background if that's how you're going to display yourself, right?
Okay, again, you have to have leaders who are going to operate like that. We rarely see grown men checking other grown men for their piss poor behavior. We rarely see grown women checking other grown women of the same community for their piss poor behavior. So until that is acceptable again, and I think that comes from community. So until we have that same kind of community again, I just don't think we're going to be able to get to the point where that you're referencing.
But we have to, in order to do that, we have to devalue the money. Because we value money so much that if you are doing something that is piss poor, but you're finding a way to make it beneficial, which is really because whoever is the higher ups are going to make sure that you are that representation and continue to fund it.
So how do you do that?
We have to be able to, the start would be able to say, you know what? I don't care if you're getting a bag.
No. How do you devalue the money?
Yeah.
Well, that would go back to having a community.
It goes back to having the public voices not justify bad behavior because of the monetary success that it has. I cannot go on here and say, yo, you know what? BMF is one of the greatest of all time. No, you killed millions in our community, or you have affected millions in our community. A woman can't go up here and say, yo, you know what? Dancing like Sexy Red and Glorilla and talking about popping your pussy is acceptable.
Glorilla and Sexy Red is not the same, just FYI.
I'm just saying, because I've heard Glorilla say it too, right?
She does, but she ain't.
But I'm not
talking about her booty hole brown.
But my thing is this.
Ain't no Sexy Red.
But my thing is this. None of it is tolerated on any level, right? Sexy Red is probably the umph. She might be a 10 and Glorilla might be a 6 or a 7. But none of it should be tolerated. None of it should be endorsed by us, right? And if we don't endorse it, then, and it starts from here, then it allows us to actually progress. You mentioned something in a group chat the other day saying how, you wish, or not that, this is not verbatim, please correct me, that you wish that men and women of our color and our native backgrounds did not see sports as the only option, right?
Which rapping.
Sports and rapping as the only option, right? Which, obviously, if you play football, you already know the odds are of you, or any sport, the odds of you actually making this successful is very slim, but yet you dedicate your whole life to this, and then you don't do anything to benefit, your intellect or your education, right? So when we all say these different things, this is where it has to start. The start is here, and we have enough impact for people to say, yo, you know what? all right, let me make sure the children that I have now, I'm going to start telling them, hey, listen, you are 6'5". You don't need to resort to basketball. You know what I'm saying? But it might be beneficial.
That's why I was like, wait a minute.
But again, we can't look at.
Yeah. It's also
But
maybe tennis, or pitcher.
Right.
But so this is a perfect example. Like 6'5", you probably have a bit more athletic prowess than the average person.
Right.
So I think it's okay to expose your kid to these other things. But if they also show that they're good at like art, or they're good, they can do like back of the napkin math very easily, or they have like some savant type memory. Like, I mean, put them in math camp and like basketball camp or something. But like they have to see something else. And that's why I always say, like, it's very hard to be something if you don't see it. Right. You know, and I know a lot of people are against like organizations like Jack and Jill because, it's for the bourgeoisie, blah, blah, blah. But I'm telling you, these organizations are not all bourgeoisie kids. And a lot of times you're able to see people and meet people and their parents who do things you never knew existed. And so I remember I was like in 4th grade, my classmate, his dad was like, and literally just maybe until a year or two ago, was the CEO of Texas Children's Hospital in Houston. So pretty much all my life. And I remember being at their house. I didn't even realize how rich they were. But I remember being at their house and somebody was talking about a thoracic surgeon. And so I don't know if I went and looked it up in an encyclopedia or did something. I was like, you know what? Shit, that's what I want to be. I ain't even like science like that. But I wanted to be a thoracic surgeon. You know, and I think that if you're a kid and you just keep saying that, and then you dive into it at some point and you get some type of exposure, you might just end up being a thoracic surgeon. If not, maybe a general surgeon, a plastic surgeon, anything. But until you're exposed to it, you have no idea that it's even possible.
Right.
You literally have no idea.
I think that's part of the problem is in a lot of communities, they don't necessarily have access to these resources. And that's part of why you're thinking your only way out is either through music or sports, because those are things that everyone can see. You can watch the Super Bowl, you can watch a basketball, you can listen to rap music, right? But you may not have in your school, they're not teaching you entrepreneurship.
Or a science center.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like your community, and that's part of the problem. You have to see it. Mm-hmm. It has to be something tangible for you to be like, you were exposed to that. It was very close to you. So you're like, this is something I can do.
I saw something with LeVar Ball the other day, and he played professional football, right? And I don't know, maybe practice squad, something. Yeah, I don't know.
Practice squad.
He said, how'd you feel after, you were out? He's like, I didn't care. He said, I had all that money. And he said, I knew I had a jump start on life and that was good enough for me.
But that's one of the things that I think, and I don't know the reason.
But Sexy Red can do, I'm just saying, she could be like
a Black China, Angela White. Yeah, it's so hard. It's like if I was, and I hate to say this, let's just say I was a thief my entire life. And I made millions stealing. And I said, you know what, guys?
You was more than a thief if you making millions.
Yeah. and them heist movies. And I said, you know what, guys? I'm done with doing heists. I want to do things the right way. Everybody's going to be like, nah, you've already burnt your integrity. Like, we always think that we can regain our integrity after we've publicly destroyed it.
I think in America you can.
Yeah, there's
so many redemption stories. Like, I think in America you can.
They love a good redemption story.